Let's now look at some of the navigation in the Apache Airflow DAG. So when you submit a DAG file, which is kind of a task file, we'll see that as we progress, and it is written in Python. It gets picked up from the DAG folder, and you'll find it over here, particularly when it is in on condition and the program will run. When it runs and completes in success, you'll have it over green, and if it is errored out, then it is in red. You'll find it over here. And running success if it is running, and then if it is failed, you have it over here in red. So this task is completed in success, so that is where you have it green over here. And then if you want to, on this side, you have all the links, respective links, if you want to trigger the job, because it is going to be scheduled at a specific point of time. So if you want to trigger that the particular DAG, then you can click on this. This will trigger, and tree view, graph view, task duration, task trees, and Gantt view, and even you can have the code view also. You can view the code. Say for example, okay, let me go into this DAG, and then it's much more easier to understand. So yeah, here it is. So it has run on various date, and if you look at it from the graph view, this is going to have two tasks. One is hello, and another one is extract, the portion of the extract. Then you have a tree view, and then this is all, both the tasks are successful. And then you can also view the code. We'll get into the code unit, but just for the understanding purpose, if you click on the code, this is what the code unit, you make it into a Python file, and you'll be placing it in the DAG folder to pick it up. So all these are Python scripts. So you can also view the code units. And then what else? Let me go back to DAG. And there is also logs. You can get into the logs, where you can specifically find the particular log, at what point of time it has run, and so on and so forth. All these details are going to be available. Extract, and if you want to view the log as what it has done, you can view it over here. This will give you an idea what the say for example, this script would have logged into a database and would have done an extract. So all these are available when you get into the DAG. So it's a kind of a dashboard, actually a dashboard, wherein you get all the details about the script running. And if you look at it, as I said, it has two tasks, and one after the other. The first task, once it is completed successfully, it would have triggered the second task, hello, and then the extract. So that's about the navigation part of the DAG. So this is the program, simple bash task. We had earlier also used a Python and a bash. One is that hello world, and which we used through the Python. We call the Python function to print hello world, and also just to have a goodbye, just to come out through the bash, we gave a goodbye. So here it should be, instead of goodbye, you can say extract in the command. So pretty much same. Task ID is extract. Bash command, you need to have an extract.sh. That's the shell scripting. Yes, it's important. Like, you need to understand the shell scripting also, particularly if you want to have good understanding on Linux and shell scripting. For that also, I do have a course in Udemy. So if you're interested, if you're new, then you can join that course. Otherwise, yeah, you can take a look at the shell script. So what actually happens is that after the first task is completed, because we have hello Python followed by the X bash. So after hello Python is completed successfully, this task is going to run, and this will run the shell scripting extract.sh. So what is there in extract.sh? We'll see that. So this is what is a small file wherein again this is an indicator to use the bash scripts path we are trying to indicate, because what happens is that we are going to initiate this through the Apache Airflow. It's not going to be a manual one, it's automated one. So we need to mention the file exports over here, and then the next step is, of course, the user ID, password, and what is the SQL connection needs to happen. So this is just an indicator as what needs to be done. And here if you see spool command is that it will create whatever is the operation which is performed, it is spooled over here. You'll have a result.csv file where the output is going to be stored. And we have this one, select star from person 1, that is the table. So the table data will get spooled and it will come over into the result.csv. In ideal scenario, I mean, we can schedule the task on a daily basis. At a particular point of time, the scripts will get into the database, fetch all the table data, give it out. The results will be stored in the CSV file. This is a kind of a practical scenario in which an Apache Airflow could be used. Most of them you need to solve it. Not always it's going to be residing, the data is going to be residing on the same server. It could be different server at a different place. Then you need to establish a connection. One way of doing this is, of course, through the SQLnet, and you can also have connection. There is a connection facility inside the Apache Airflow itself wherein you can do that as well. But this I found it much more simpler, because if you're good in shell scripting, you can, instead of having those connections in the Apache Airflow, you could do this in the shell script itself, and you can get connected to the database. So this script needs to go into the OPC home directory. That is what is mentioned, home OPC directory, this extract file, and then the DAG file need to get into the DAX folder. And then once your web server and the scheduler is somewhat up and running, this DAG will get executed and you can see that output as well. So we'll see that in the subsequent presentation. Thank you. So now I have moved the files. One is the extract file into the home OPC directory. The other one is, of course, the DAG file into the DAG folder. And then I had also started the scheduler, Airflow scheduler, Airflow web server, and of course through the VNC, through the Tiger VNC viewer, I got into the localhost 8080 admin. That is all been done. Now this is the one, simple extract. You need to, this is to pick up. Yes, you need to make it on. It is in, yeah, now it is on. So we need to give some time to get picked. So we'll wait for that. The point to note here is, yes, when you go through the, because of your network connection, internet connection, and then this has been in the cloud, and you are using the free service. There is free service in the sense Oracle Cloud free service. There are network restrictions. So you might feel when you open up the Tiger VNC and go into the localhost 8080 admin, it's all slow. But yeah, it's a freeware. Towards learning, it's always, you're not spending a huge fortune to get to know about the Apache Airflow, and again you can learn on the many other things because you're using the database itself. So it will be a little slow, but you're okay with that. Yes, you can always learn much more with the Oracle Cloud instance. So let's give it a time, because we have switched on, so it will get picked up and you'll see the result. So it has picked up. The scheduler has picked up, and it has twice it has run, because we had given the date as 2nd. Today is 4th of December, so 2 runs have been done successfully. So let's see that, get into the DAG and see how it looks. So let's give some time to open up. So yeah, here it is all showing extract and hello. It's all showing success. Let's get into the graph view and see how that looks. Because 2 tasks should be in success. yeah, if you get into the extract one, because that is where the data should have been extracted, go to view log, and yeah, here it is. So yeah, it has got connected to the SQL as well, and yeah, it is displaying over here once it is connected. But the same data, because we are and if you look at here, it is home OPC running command extr.sh. That is also that is what is the script is called, and it got connected to the database Oracle 19c, and got into the database of autonomous database inside the Oracle Cloud, and it has run that select star from person 1, which is a table, and it has got the data. Since we have spooled off, spooling in the sense we are trying to get into a CSV file, we need to see whether that CSV file has been created in the home directory, home OPC. We'll see that as well. So I'm now inside the Unix box. So ls present working directory, that home OPC, and yeah, here it is. So result.csv, this is an extract file. So if you do a cat of results.csv, and it has the data, just one data. So person name, last name, you have that information as well. So what we had successfully done is, of course, we had a shell script through which we have to establish a connection with the database. It has to retrieve the data, and you have seen it earlier manually, but then we created into a shell script, and then we had created a DAG file, and this DAG file was then given to the Airflow, and we had switched on the web server and the scheduler. So naturally, the one for the first task is of course the greeting task, and then the extract task. So all this has integrated perfectly. It all worked integrated perfectly. This is how, in fact, in the data warehousing system, it really happens, or practically happens. You have different databases from which the data need to be extracted, and then maybe it gets loaded into another database where the business intelligence takes over, business intelligence applications takes over, and like business intelligence in the case of Oracle, it's OBIE, and then you have Cognos. All are called the OLAP tools, online analytical processing. So that's a separate concept as such in business intelligence, which lies on top of the data warehousing system. So this is of course the extract part alone, because this data need to be then loaded into some database. You can use the SQL loader, because SQL loader is available when you make this install. SQL loader is of course available. So maybe you need to write another script wherein you can use the SQL loader to load into the database table. So this data, whatever is extracted, gets loaded into that table. So in a practical scenario, what happens is, there are suppose 4 or 5 systems which has all the sales data. This has to be consolidated across from the respective databases. The sales data has to be extracted and then loaded one after the other through this task dependency, through the Airflow. They have to be loaded into a target table, and then the analysis happens. So by this, I hope you have a clear understanding how Apache Airflow fits into the task scheduling or task pipeline. Thank you. Stay tuned.